is he using this? Oh, that's not the video. Okay, Replit. Let me show you something. I've been using your platform now for 30, probably 35 days straight. 35 days straight. Anywhere from 5 to 10 hours a day, honestly. And this is something that you need to work on. A lot of times you'll fix something, and I'm talking about spending hours and hours on fixing something, and then somewhere down the road, in a day or two, while you're working on other stuff, it breaks the thing that you fixed. Now this was showing like this a little while ago, which is only a problem with the superimposed images, causing it to expand the canvas that is going to be presented in the preview. And I had fixed that problem, and it tried to fix it again, but it made it worse by now all of the images for the different social media are the same size, and there's no image showing. So this is in the wrong direction for a fix. But my main issue here is that I shouldn't even have to deal with this, because I already spent a lot of time fixing this the first time. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, and here is the proof that it was fixed. Where is it? Do I have the proof? I got the proof, but I don't know if it's it's probably deep in the video somewhere. Yeah, it's on this video. Yep, it's on this video. So this is 4 days ago. I fixed this 4 days ago. And now I believe it's happening. Well, it's not, I believe. See? See? This is the fix. Here is the superimposed image, that hand. Let me see, can I get it bigger? That hand. I guess, okay, so that's all I use on this one. The superimposed image. And as you can see, it's cropping on the right size. And, well, let's see, it's not on this one. But it's on this one, it's on that one. Let's see what it's saying. Oh, so that might give it some insight, because what's happening is, if there's no, it's not like, the only reason it's not on this one is because the area that is being cropped, is over here. It's not in the picture. But it's not causing this canvas to be offset because of the images. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what I figured out. The way to fix it was to tell Replit Agent to create a flattened image before you try to preview it. And then I don't think that will offset the canvas. So I'm going to try this again, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention before I did all that, because I mean, obviously that is a poor user experience for it to mess up something that you already had fixed. All right, and I'm gonna end this one right here for you as we continue on with hopefully fixing it again. Now all social media And that's why I do stuff like this. I don't know if y'all keep, if some kind of way you collecting data, information, so that the system learns. But I said whatever you did made it worse. Now all social media images are the same size, which is terrible. In opposite direction of a fix. It seems to me no image shows at all. And they all are the same size, which is obviously not correct. Now, what I was going to say is it seems to me that also the agent shouldn't even try to present this as a fix. Like, it should check. The coding for the agent should be such that it checks what it's about to present as the fix against the prior situation. And the if then else statement goes something like, if what is about to be presented as the solution to the earlier problem is further away from the desired outcome than the prior problem, then it is not a fix. And it seems kind of, I don't know, I'm not a coder, that's why I'm using no code, but it seems something that, and I know you can't catch everything because I'm sure I got some problems with my apps that might be able to be fixed that I haven't fixed. But that's why I'm sending you the message, because it seems that there is a way to write the code for the Replit agent so that when it presents what is supposed to be a solution to an issue, a challenge, a problem that you're working on, that this thing would be something that it can handle. Maybe it does, which, I mean, maybe it creates an endless loop if it keeps checking and it never gets to the point where there's a solution, but then you can write a piece of code for the endless loop to stop that as well. But I feel like it should never give you something that's worse than what you started with. Because it just seems like you can write logic to keep it from doing it. And of course, the best case scenario is also that it should never break something that was already fixed. Now that seems like a harder piece of code to write, but nonetheless, for you guys to come up with something like this, I think it's something that you can probably tackle. All right, because if you don't, then somebody is going to come along and figure it out. Because I mean, at this point, you guys got probably unlimited capital to invest in figuring it out, and probably some of the other guys do too. So whoever gets this and care about it the most will probably figure it out. And once that becomes known that, hey, this no code platform doesn't have that issue, whew, that's powerful. So okay, I'm moving on. I got to try to fix this again. And now I'm going to, for the rest of you guys that are watching, Replit, that's pretty much ends my direct message to you. Now I shall continue on with trying to get this thing presentable. And I will say, now I'm torn between reverting back prior to its attempt at doing this and trying to move forward. I think I'll take one more iteration on trying to fix it, because what I want to do is for it to register what I'm telling it. So if I revert back, I don't get the opportunity to do that. If I put this in there and give the proposed solution, then this also goes into the system as input. Again, I don't know what's done with it. If it uses feedback to improve, then knowing that you went in the opposite direction and then saying, oh, okay, well, let's see what happened here, then is useful, I suppose. All right, so then I'm going to say what I had proposed last time, which led to a fix, is dot dot dot. Now I'm going to leave the dot dot dots. For the superimpose images which are causing the problem to be flattened on the background image prior to creating the preview of the social media images. Then it would be fixed to the image and not cause a problem with the preview or resulting social media final image. Let's see how this works. You're absolutely right. That is a better, that's what it's going to say, watch. You're absolutely right. I made it worse. Let me check the logs to see what's happening and then implement the proper fix you suggested. You're absolutely right. My regex fix broke it completely. Let me revert my changes and implement the proper fix you suggested. Flattening the overlay images onto the background before creating social media formats. Why is everybody up early on a Wednesday? Well, I know what John working. Da, 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 da. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy early, well, I don't know what day you're going to watch this video, but for me, it's early Wednesday morning. Please, let's get this right and over with so I can move on. I want to start on something new today, although I still need to go back and work on something older as well. Uploading the flyer to Cloudinary to flatten it. Oh, that's the workflow. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Can we get a drum roll? I do like how you guys have the database integrated now. That is a power move. I love it. No more worries with super base, 5 base, and all that. That's a beautiful thing. Now, if you could do, it's a big ask, some way to provide email delivery and SMS that is integrated. Although for you guys who need that functionality, hey, if you gotta go high level, all you gotta do is plug in the API, and you're good. You use the API for the sub account. And if you want to see how that's done, you can watch one of my earlier videos. And if you don't have go high level, then there'll be a link in the description. And I do also have training videos for go high level. Agent is ready. Let's check it out. By the way, Replit, if you're still watching, comment below. Do we actually have to hit the refresh after making these changes, or will the refresh consistently propagate throughout the project without hitting refresh? All right, let's get this drum roll. That's me right there. The QR code is there. Oh yeah. All right, so now it's gotten that right. And so I hope you learned that it seems can't give me a good preview though. It seems that you can pretty confidently tell Replit to, hey man, go back on something we did earlier and fix this. Now where's my, oh, maybe if I do this, okay. No, still it lost my generated flyer before getting down here. Before, let's see, before this was, oh boy. Oh, that's because I regenerated and I didn't have anything in here. Let's see. But before, it was holding that flyer in preview. And I can adjust it and then generate this again. So that's also backwards, going backwards. That looks better. However, there is another opportunity to improve user experience, which is now missing what was present in earlier version. That is the flyer, what do you call it? Well, I take that back. It doesn't even have the QR code. Let me check something to make sure. Maybe it's just not showing up on that default image. Let's see if my plan has persisted. Am I still on the pro plan? So what I'm saying is, this image right here stayed available before, persisted. And as you can see, the little superimpose image is in the finished social media images. So yes, it successfully fixed that. Now the other ask, and this is not something that was taken away. We never did get this fix working the first time. But I wanted to be able to click on this and then drag around, select the part of the image that I want to be inside of this cutout, I guess is what you would call it. Every time I wake up in the morning, then I have to do a lot of clearing my throat. What's going on out here? That is the flyer. On the flyer, the generate. What do we call it exactly? Preview. It's the flyer preview over the images. Stay persistent. And what did I do? Go to something else and came back? Let me try that. Oh my goodness. Wait. Okay. Now let me make sure it shows up on the, yep, on the preview for the invitation. Now if I go back to edit, this is not scrolling down like it used to. That was a solution that had been here. And see, this is gone now. So I want to say, that is the flyer preview over the image stayed persistent. For example, here did a preview invitation to see what the invitation looked like, then clicked to return to flyer editing, and my flyer preview is gone. So if I simply meaning all images. This is what the problem. This is what this means. Meaning all images uploaded to create this flyer are gone. So I can't adjust the superimpose and regenerate. I would have to start all over again with creation process. That's not good. These images need to stay available for manipulation, to fine tune things, to get the look that you want. Like maybe I decide I need to move that. Where that thing at? Oh, what is this? This is not even the image I just generated, is it? Maybe I'm tripping. I thought I did something with the hand. No, I'm not tripping. This is not even the image that I just generated. This is the image I just generated. And it seems worse because yep, let me put that out there. It's not even pulling. Let me see this again. Yeah. Actually, it's worse than that. I just noticed that it pulls a completely different flyer that was generated. When I come back, it's an earlier image than the last one worked on. I said it. I need to say the social media images are completely different. That the social media images are also not persistent, and in fact is showing a completely different flyer that was generated. From an earlier session. Prior to the last one image I was working on. let's see how it does with this one. It's a lot. It's a lot right here. Now, the thing I'm wondering, you're absolutely right. This is a major user experience problem. Users shouldn't lose their work when navigating between pages, and the social media format should always match the current flyer. Social media formats. I didn't say anything about the formats. Formats are fine. So let me pause it real quick. All right, it says it's fixed. Let's go check it. Oh, okay. Look, it brought back the old flyer. Still fixed. Wait a minute, man. If I remember correctly, this wasn't there last time. Because this was the attempt to be able to drag the image around. But anyway, let's start over again. Wait, let me do this. Let me see what's down here now. Okay, still there. But all right, since you brought that back, still don't have this preview here. So let's start over and see what happens. Go through the whole process again. These images were created with vidIQ. It's a pretty good program to help with YouTube stuff. You can upload an image in here, so you see me right there, and then give it a prompt to use along with the image that you upload. So let's put it right here. There'll be a link in the description, of course. Affiliate link will not cost you any more. All right, let's see if this is showing correctly in the social media downloads. Yep, there it is in the Facebook post image. And this is just, an additional, we're doing this, we're creating an image for the invitation. I just figured why not make it available to download, and you'll be able to just post it on social media as well. And then link it to your invitation or whatever you want to link it to. Okay, now let's see, does it persist? So let's go back over here, which is the flyer. Now this is the flyer preview. This is what the flyer image will look like. And let's look at it actually on the, I said flyer, the invitation, invitation. So now let's just say that we wanted to go back and edit it some more. Click back. Now this is supposed to automatically take it down. It's not. It is switching to flyers, but it no longer scrolls down like it's supposed to. and this image does not persist. So if I wanted to continue editing, there is no editing to be done here other than turn this text on and off. Uh, I wonder if that incurs extra expense. And so how much? Because it seems, I don't know, it would take a memory, but is that memory taxing to the system? Or is it session? Because should it persist if you log out and come back? I say for the session. Wait, but they get, but they get accounts. So the state could be state. That's what it's called. be held until even if they log out, right? Right? Question mark. Basically, just so it gets the idea, so that if they must go prior to reaching satisfaction with design, they can return and pick up where they left off. Let's see what it says. You're exactly right. That is a good user experience. To be able to leave and come back and pick up where you left off. As for the cost on the system, here's how you're absolutely right. This is a critical user interface issue. Users should be able to upload images, position them, navigate away, and come back to continue where they left off. Let me address your question and fix this. As for the cost analysis, Cloudinary storage images are already uploaded there, so no extra cost. Database storage, just storing image URLs and position. Data is negligible cost. Overall impact, minimal additional cost since we're only storing metadata. Persistence strategy. Since users have accounts, I recommend full persistence across sessions. This way, they can log out and return later to continue their work. This provides the best user experience. Let me implement immediate persistence of upload images. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So as you can see, you can converse with it. The issue is having to do a lot of different things at one time that could cause problems. Because first of all, you may not explain any of those things to a sufficient degree to have a accurate idea of what you're actually trying to do when you try to do a lot of things at one time. And then, so, it's a chicken and egg. So is that the reason that outcome may not be as good as desired? Or is it simply from the agent trying to do too many things? It's probably a little bit of both. And probably because you're not being as thorough because you're trying to list too many things. So, but as far as doing one thing or trying to accomplish one thing, and there's a lot to say about that thing, all of that is going to help with the context and help it really understand what it is you're trying to do, So that can be actually useful. And if you have questions like what I asked about incurring the cost, you might have to research some documentations or something like that, but it's not actually having to mess with the code on the back end to achieve a specific outcome. So, and again, it's just giving it more insight, more context to narrow down exactly what it is you're trying to do. Like I might say, I want you to do this and this and this. If I'm just saying that it doesn't know why, then its approach may be different if it knows the why, because in order to actually facilitate the why, then it may need to be coded differently because it may have to interact with another piece of the code or another function in order to bring about the outcome that you want in order to actually do the why. And you may not know that, but if it has the context of what the thing is, what is the purpose for the thing that you want it to do, it will have that context. And if other pieces of the code need to be integrated or there needs to be a connection, in order to get that outcome, it knows to do that because of the context that you've given it. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, I tried. Yes, I did. Now, let's test the complete persistent workflow. Upload an honorary image, remove the background as desired, drag to the position, navigate the preview, return to the file editor. I feel like with all of that explanation though, but adding on should be pretty simple because we're talking so much about user interface. When I say now make it so that the preview images, I can click on it and drag around the selection for the, okay, oh, I see this is persistent. All right, let's refresh, just GP. My plan was to start something else this morning though. So this has persisted. That's still working. Good. Now let's turn it back. Social media. I really don't know. Downloads. Download photos. Oh, okay. Download the full size. And then download the social media. Oh, let me see now. Oh shucks, it is working. Okay, okay. Was that there the whole time, guys? Oh, how does this thing work? Oh man, this is beautiful there. Wait, how does it work? Oh, okay. You click it to drop it. And this is, wait, this should keep the, let me see what happens. It's gonna allow me to read. Yeah, that ain't good. It's supposed to stay square. Target size 1080 by 1080. Oh, okay. It's not exactly what I envisioned because it needs to be able to keep the QR. Oh, I see what's happening here. The QR code stays in that corner. This needs to be, all right, I'll worry about that later. For now, let's see if this thing is persistent. I'm getting excited. Was that there the whole time and I missed it? Okay, let's go back to the edit. Something is happening. The presentation isn't going down, but I saw this bar move. So this is persistent. The background image is not. And this, is not what I was working on either. Background image still disappears. It also changed the generated flyer image to a prior upload, not the one I was working on when I think I'm right, right? I left. Isn't that a different image? Oh, let's see. Let me do this. Yep, that was the image. Let me see, can I get a capture? Mm-hmm. Got it. Wait, now it came back. Oh my goodness. But when I left and came back a second time, the correct image was there. So I am now wondering if it is intentionally pulling the image prior to the one currently being worked on. I should say programmatically, programmatically, as opposed to randomly. Things that make you go, John's got lobster. I need to work on my
samples. I'm fine.
I don't know what's happening right here. And the battle continues right here. Okay. So I'm competing with John unofficially. He doesn't know, but he's been working on a language translator app for ever since ever since last December. And so last week I started working on this. My own no code translation app. The way it works is you create a chat room, you invite the person in, and Hello. How are you doing today? Oh, the other side gets it, and you get the translation, and of course, I reply back to you. I gotta add the voice feature and see if I can get it moving quicker. And that's pretty much it. But basically, you create the chat room, you send it, you copy the invite, you send them the invite. They come to the app, and they come into the classroom with you, and you communicate right here in this environment. And it has, you see learn mode. I need to do something about this toggle. But you see this turns on whether or not, if you want to learn the language, you leave it on. So you see the translation yourself. But also you can turn on cultural insights. And you can say you want a light or heavy. And what it does is it monitors the conversation to tell you if something is being said that would be have a different meaning than it does in your culture, because it's translation. So obviously, it's someone from a different, different culture that you're speaking to. Well, you can say the same words and they have a different meaning. And so, with my translation app, it's going to provide you with the insights with those nuances, so that you can have. That's just one of the things, though. But in regards to that, that's so there's less communication. I mean, less misunderstanding and enhanced communication. You can go deeper. It's less, instead of just being surface, instead of making assumptions about what the person means. For example, when someone speaks Spanish and they say it's okay, well, it's okay has a slightly different meaning depending on when it's used. It could have a much bigger meaning than when you say it in the United States. In the United States, to a degree, depending on how it's used, it could be dismissive, or how was the lunch? It was all right. It was okay. That's blah, blah, blah. If in Spanish you say, how was your lunch? It's okay. It's more affectionate, more approving, more. It's a good thing. Okay, perfect. In English, it's blah. It was alright. In Spanish, in that context, it's good. It's like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. If they felt blah, they would say something different. Put it that way. Easy way to put it. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but that's what it does. Are we ready? That's just one of the ways. When I'm talking, I'll elaborate more when we get to the app again. Let me start with something new. Change this image up. This is persisting well. Although I'm having to use up my background credits. Is very good practice to check related functionality when you're working on something. Like, we was having issues with how these images were being displayed. So when you don't go back and check and see if it's still working the way it's supposed to, then it's a missed opportunity to let problems run away that you're thinking was a one and done solved and you're good. It's like it's kind of like not doing your pre-trip or safety check on your vehicle before you go on a trip. You assume that it's good, it might not be good. All right, so anyway, let it now go away, but I'm gonna get a screenshot so that I know what I was working on. I'm just gonna put it here in case I need it. If I don't need it, fine. Just don't send it. Let's go to the preview. Preview looks fine. Let's go back. If you look over here, you see that this moves, and the movement would match this scrolling effect. So I don't really know what's happening because this bar is moving, but you don't actually see the scroll represented. So the background image is still not there. This went back to the last image, I think. Let me see. Yep. And I bet you if I leave and come back, it's going to show this image. So like I said before, I think it is programmatically displaying the prior image and not the one that was last being worked on, but the one prior to the last one. So let's preview it again. Go back again. Test my theory. Watch this. See, it moved. Nope, my theory is not accurate either. Because it's the same image. But when you preview it, it's showing the correct image. Yep, it's not there. I'm just going to snap this because it proves, alright, so, this background image could be held persistently, but just not displayed. But this is the background image, the backup image. So the fact that this is pulled, when I generate a flyer again, shows that this image is not even being held in memory. It's not that it's just not displayed, it's not being held at all. So that's why, to me, this is significant. It lets you know that it eliminates the need to try to decipher whether the image is being held in memory but just not displayed, or is actually not being held in memory at all. The answer is it's not being held in memory at all. On the other hand, you can see that honorary image persists up here in preview and applied to the image. So it's doing what we want the background image to do. On the other hand, the honorary image persists well. It is visible when leaving and returning and continues to show on generated flyer. Also, when returning to image after leaving, what do you call this image? Image prior to generating a new image isn't even the image we were working on. It was a different image there before generating a new image. You may notice that image was different. I don't need to put that. So the background image, I shouldn't have put so. Should have just started with the background image is still not being held over. The so is unnecessary. Just like in real speech. You're absolutely right. I can see from your screenshot that the background image persistence isn't working. The choose background button appears when you return and it defaults to a template background when generating the image. Let me check the logs and fix this issue. Alrighty. Mm-hmm. 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 Perfect. I found the issue. The dashboard route returns this event data correctly, but I need to check if the storage.getEvent method is including the background image URL field. Let me check the storage implementation. All right, I'll put you guys on pause. Perfect. I found the issue. The getEvent method uses database.select. Bingo! The schema shows background image URL is defined, but the API returns null for that field. This suggests Drizzle isn't properly mapping the snake case database column to to camel case TypeScript properly. Let me check how other similar fields work. Seems to have an issue with my test. Are we there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Ah, I see the issue. The honoree restoration works because it uses both event honoree image URL and event honoree image position. But the background restoration only checks for event.background image URL, not the event.background position. It didn't say that, but that's what I'm reading into it. Perfect. I've restarted the application to ensure the new background field is properly. All right, let's see then. Let's see. Let's see. Let me check your work. Let me grade your work. Okay. That's the one I use, isn't it? All right. Oh. Remove. Let's play a game. Game. And wait a minute. Oh, okay. Generate the flyer again. Social media buttons. Okay. All right. All right. Let's preview it. Now let's come back to it. Persist. But the background removal doesn't persist. Progress though. We can use that, but I'm not using that. There is progress. Both background and honoree persists, but if you look closely, the background removed version of honoree is not what persists. I have to use another credit to remove background again. Plus, the toggle suggests that background is removed, but you look at the generated flyer and you see there is a background on the superimposed under re-image. Sure. I actually have to click undo, then remove background again, and regenerate the flyer again. To remove the background. Just clicking remove background doesn't remove it. On the flyer preview. And it keeps refreshing this generated flyer. When does this happen? Wait a minute. Actually, it doesn't, it's not even, oh, it's persisting. It's persisting the background remove, it's persisting the image without the removal. A persistent state is including the background and not accounting for the background removed state. If the background is removed, it is, in other words, it is making the background persistent as shown with this last image, where the background is actually removed on the generated image, but not in the preview. Spending way too much time on this. The background is removed on generated flyer, but the background is removed on the generated flyer, but not on the preview version, because the background on the honorary image is staying persistent. That is a flaw, bug. So I just try to make it clear, trying to make it plain, trying to pinpoint what I'm trying to communicate. When I'm not rushing, which is counterproductive. Excellent analysis. You found a critical bug in the honorary image persistence logic. The background image persistence is now working, but the honorary image is persisting the original version with the background instead of the background removed version. Right. It needs to be in the code to persist the adjusted or the end result prior to the next stage, which is generating the flyer. So it needs to detect on whether or not you have removed the background. It doesn't need to be a blanket persistent state. It needs to check. It needs to be further down the code than that. In other words, it doesn't need to automatically just take the honorary image and persist it. No, it needs to take the last state of the honorary image and persist that version, if that makes sense. Now, it did a fix that says no unnecessary credit usage for reprocessing. No, that ain't what we want. We want no reprocessing by persisting the correct state. 984. That is deducting though. That's good to see. Although it's not the right amount. By the way, the number of background credit background credits allotted for planner tier should be 30. I think. Oh, is it? Yeah. One a day. What else you want? I probably got no place to. I know. I guess so. I guess I have reached the amount. I just like to keep tabs on what's going on. So I'll raise it as a. Oh, it's already up there. It's already above 95. Let's see what happens. Five. I should have copied it before I left. Oh, I already did that. Oh, okay. Now I'm tripping. Think about all of that stuff that I typed in. I had done that already. And we were just doing the credit number, right? So that's no big deal. I see that's still there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. So far, so good. Can we please move on from this? Now let's generate the flyer. Let's look at the social media images. Good. Now let's preview the invitation. Good. Now let's go back to the edit. Switched over but did not scroll down. This is not the right image. This is not the right image. These are not the right images. So it persists now in the right way. However, with the wrong images. The images shown are not from latest edit, but earlier edit. The last image is the one shown in invitation preview. Now, let's see what happens if I click back again. Just as I had suspected. If I go back again, but this didn't happen before, but it's happening now. However, if I click the back button to go to image preview again and come back to the images, the generate flyer area, it updates to the correct image as shown in the last screenshot. Now these details hopefully will help it to pinpoint the nuance in the code which is allowing this or causing this to happen. I see exactly what's happening. The persistence works correctly. The invitation preview shows the latest flyer, but there's a cache invalidation issue when navigating back to the editor. Let me check the logs to see what's happening during navigation. Perfect analysis. I can see exactly what's happening from the logs. The issue is cache problem with the existing flyers. Here's what's happening. The problem is the restoration logic is reading a state cached flyer URL instead of the most recent one. Let me check how existing flyers are loaded and fix this. Found the issue. The problem is that the existing flyer URL restoration logic is reading the wrong field from the database. I know. I go. Man, time is getting up out of here. Time is getting up out of here. The fix is to prioritize the language-specific fields first, since they language specific fields first. What app we working on? Oh, yeah, we do have both languages, don't we? I don't know what that has to do with this problem, though, but okay. Dear, oh dear. All right, let's change this to another image. Let's keep it rotating. Let's do something beautiful. Ooh, I don't know how this fits, but okay. Social media. Okay, well, okay, it does work, but I wanted to, can I increase it? The default, okay. Yeah, I can increase it. Let's see how this works. Oh, no, it doesn't keep the, let me see what happens. Could not save the custom crop. All right, so that's an issue for another time. I'm just curious about how. Let's go back to the edit. Oh man, it even changed this. That about. made it vertical. Okay. Okay, let me see something here. Okay, perfect then, actually. Perfect. That's how it's supposed to work. Didn't work before. Now it works. Okay. Man, I don't know what just happened. There we go. Uh-oh. Then we have a problem. I said we need to fix this because I'm not happy right now. And it's not. That is not a call for urgency. Probably better off saying we have a deadline. We have a deadline. People are waiting for this project to reach the next phase. Something like that. People are waiting on us to get to the next stage. Something like that. Who cares if you're happy or not? But on the real, I'm about to stop this video. This is the last attempt of stopping the video. Get something to eat. I gotta get ready to go at 11 o'clock. Catch the plane. I wanted to be working on a new app right now. I just wanted to try to fix that up. I still gotta take a shower. I'm just feeling my head. I still gotta take a shower. Still hasn't changed the credit numbers. Maybe for new plans, the numbers are updated. Image is not persistent. Maybe, oh, okay. Now it updated to the new image. But I'm going to remove that and do something totally different. Let's go with this one. These are images for the models on the beach website. Have something there. That's what I wanted to work on this morning and start a new one actually. I guess I'll work on models on the beach because if I start a new one, I don't want to do that. I don't like doing it. I like having a full day ahead if I start something new. Drum roll, please. And we have the old image. This was working before too. So what happens is, if you go back to the screen, it's still caching the older image. If you click refresh manually, then it will update to the new image. So we just need to accomplish the same thing on its own, I suppose. Excuse me. I understand the issue. The preview page shows the correct current issue, but when you navigate back to the editor, it's loading old cache data. Let me check the logs to see what's happening during the navigation to fix this properly. I can see exactly what's happening from the logs. The issue is clear. How many times have we heard that? So what I said I was going to do is only work for this, work on this hour at a time. I knew that was ridiculous when I said it. It is ridiculous because there ain't enough time. To take forever to master something doing that. But I do not supposed to be sitting here working on this all day long every day. It's sitting in the Dominican Republic next to the ocean. Suppose I had capped myself, but that's okay. When I come back, today I leave. I'll be gone for 2 weeks. When I come back, that's what it's gonna be. I'm capping myself at. I'm capping myself. I'm putting a limit on it. 3 days max. When I get done, I get done. When I don't, I don't. 3 days max. Not 3 days max. 3 hours max is what I'm going to do. All right. I can't do that. 5 hours max. 5 hours max. And you may say, good Lord, that's ridiculous. Nah, trust me, that's a big improvement from what I currently do. I did get out yesterday. Not yesterday, day before yesterday. But yeah, 5 hours would be a big improvement. And, that's cool. After 30 days, and I'm going to do the same thing for the next. While I'm gone, I'm going to be doing the 5 hours plus days, so it's okay. By the time I get back, I have all that time still doing it this way under my belt. So, what just happened? What did I just do with it? Wait a minute. What just happened here? I don't know what just happened. They said I couldn't make it. I said I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't amount to anything. Alright, here we go with the drum roll. Let me capture this image. They said I couldn't make it. They said I wouldn't be here today. Oh yeah. Guys, we have progress. The correct image is now at play. Thank goodness we can leave on this note. Yes. Yes. Whew. We've come a long way. It works. Thanks. 2 hours on the dot. What a way to end the video. Although it won't be 2 hours by the time you see it though. I'm gonna exit. Don't get carried away now. It ain't like we fixed everything. But we do have progress. This is in a place where I can leave it. Uh-oh. What just happened? Oh, okay. Scared me there for a second. So now I'm going to redeploy. Currently set different plans. I said the planner tier. Oh, okay. Well, you could have left mine like it was, you know, but okay. Um, you know, you can still upload your own stuff here. I need to have it fixed, so anyway, I'm done with this day. This one, I might try to. No, I'm definitely going to try to work on it. I'm definitely going to try. I'm definitely going to. Yeah, I definitely am going to try republish. Now, is that different? Publishing. Okay, roughly been in here changing some stuff around. I suppose republish is the new verbiage over redeploy. Is that right? Replit done changed some stuff around. I wonder how this gonna work out today. I mean, you know, is there some significant improvements in deeper in the code. Let's see what we got here. Yep, that's the deployment. Instead of deploying, now it's publish. Instead of redeploying, now it's republish. It's still searching. You see me squirming around because I got to use the bathroom. So I'm going to republish while it's, wait, let me just wait for it to finish. You're correct. According to Replit's current terminology, republish or deploy, publish or deploy, the initial process of making your app live on the internet. Republish, updating an already published application. So republish is indeed the specific term used when you want to update an existing published app. All right, y'all, let's republish. All right, so now what? Oh, it's preparing. I'll let this run. Okay, it's just another whole step altogether. Approve and deploy. I expect it to come back and see it done. Have we fixed all right. And it is done. Published 2 minutes ago. Got the verification email. Accept. All right, we're out of here.